as you go through, as we go through this, and if you see something that you want to share with your academic deans or other faculty members, this is a statewide initiative, and we really want to make sure that everybody across the state knows about it, and we have a lot of users for it. I think what you're going to see today is some really exciting stuff that's been 2 years in the making, and it has been a joy to work on it. We're not done yet, but we have a great little team. We have a team of 6 here, and most of us are on the call right now. I'm Janice Onneson. I'm the person up here in the corner. I'm the Director of Academic Initiatives at the Minnesota State I.T Center of Excellence. So what we do in the Center of Excellence is create projects and programs that will help our faculty members within their courses, do professional trainings, do student events, so the CCDC or Data Derby, any of the cyber events, such like that. That's all within our world of what we do. We also perform high school curriculum ideas. We do a lot of boot camps. So anything we can do to enhance the learning across the state is what we do. I'm going to have the rest of the team introduce themselves so that they get to know who they are as well. So Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen LaPlante. I'm former IT faculty at Hennepin Technical College for close to 30 years. And now I'm retired and helping out at the IT Center of Excellence, more in a project manager and instructional design role. And have a great team, like Janice says.
Yeah. Rafa, introduce yourself real quick.
Hello, hi. My name is Rafa. I am a faculty at Metro State in the Computer Science and Cybersecurity department, and I have been helping with the project for about 1.5 years now.
Wonderful. Musumi.
My name is Moshumi Munmun, and I work with this project till summer, and I also teach at MIS department, and I'm a doctorate student at Metropolitan Student University also.
Wonderful. Portia.
Hi, I'm Portia Pusey. I'm a consultant on the project. I do research in cybersecurity education.
And last, I don't think Omar is on the call. He's probably hard at work because it is his work day. So he's a grad assistant with us. He does a lot of the D2L development as well from the formulas and stuff. As you know, when you get into data modules, there's a lot of formulas, a lot of things like that. So he is one of our experts in that area as well. So thank you for the introductions. We have a lot of folks on the call here, so hopefully at the end we'll be able to have some questions and answers. And but we're going to go kind of right through the background just so everyone gets what they need first, and then we'll go through questions and answers and anything else. So the background of the project really is about 18 months ago, we received a grant from the Minnesota State system to create 1 credit or 15-hour modules that could be used across the state of Minnesota. What we found were a lot of the rural colleges weren't able to bring in the experts that they needed to teach a certain course or a certain module or a certain topic, but we had them in other areas, or we would have somebody in Bemidji who had great expertise in data, but nobody did in, let's say, Century. So what we did was we collaborated across the group, and I think we had 18 different colleges participate in this. They gave us faculty with time, and the faculty, we had 37 different faculty create what's now 262, coming up to 262 different modules for us that are 1 credit. The goal really is to create dynamic and innovative and high quality modules that you guys can plug and play right into your current curriculum, or you could take 3 or 4 of them and create a new course. Really, however you want to use these modules, it's up to you. We do have faculty actually use them. We may have a student that comes in your class who has missed some portion of information, and there may be a module just on that portion. So let's just say data visualization in Python, or maybe a little network security course, or maybe they need some teamwork help. or how to do an initiative project plan or an agile thing. Whatever it would be, they can actually go in and walk through these courses. They aren't graded at that point. They're just kind of more of a resource, but faculty have been using them that way as well. And it's been a really nice group. So we have 4 different areas that are kind of our head for this. Minnesota State, of course, gave us a grant for curriculum development. We are the Minnesota State I.T Center of Excellence, so we are the ones that own the grants and work with others that own grants, such as Metropolitan State University. This is where Portia comes in. She's working underneath the NSF grant award. That's the cybersecurity. So they have allowed us to really use quite a bit of funds from that award to create most of the cybersecurity modules that you'll see coming up. So, and Portia will have a chance to talk about an example of that. So for the project overview, we just kind of want to go through a few things of improving the current courses with up-to-date content. This is one of the things you can do with the content that we have. Maybe some of your information in the courses is old. We know in IT things change really quickly. So we really try to stay on top of that. Also to increase the IT knowledge base across the state. Again, people in Bemidji maybe didn't have a big cyber group, but they wanted a little bit of data security up there, or Moorhead or Lake Superior. This reaches all parts of the Minnesota area. So no matter where you're at, you can get access to these. We did want it to make sure we had high quality modules, and that's why we picked the best of the faculty. They were paid to create these courses. They are very aware that their name is attached to them, so we know that the high quality is there. We also had a number of standards that we had put in place. Karen is a standards expert, and we made sure that she was kind of running the show from the standards, the backwards design, and everything we needed to do. We really just wanted to expand that opportunity to learn outside of the metro area. So we have, Rochester, and we have Mankato. And if you don't go to some of the bigger colleges, you may miss out on some of the information that's out there. So that was our main goal. We did align it to standards. So I know a lot of us are working off of NSF standards or NICE standards or Edison for data, whatever it would be. So we have done some mapping, and I'll show you that in a bit. And we really just wanted to develop collaborative partners. So us doing it by ourselves in a small office in St. Paul doesn't help anybody. But if we can get 30 some odd colleges to participate in this, it really does mean something more. All right, so the process that we did is we really went through determining the modules. We had leads for all of our groups, from data to cyber. And these are leads that are part of the industry, part of our academic world. They are also highly known across the state in each of their divisional areas. So lots of different areas. They determined what modules were needed to really expand the learning across the state. They then developed some learning levels, and Karen will talk about that. Then we determined what the modules were, created the backwards designs. We'll talk about all these things, how the modules look, and how we publish them. So it was a pretty long process. That process actually continues to go. So as we speak, every day we continue to work kind of on these last 3 or 4. Pretty much the first 3 have been completed now. And now we're just doing backward designs and continuing to create as many modules as we possibly can before the end of the session on there. So let me see here. Sorry about that. Okay. So there are 5 module areas that we are covering. We have career readiness, which is part of the Ed Design Lab. We have Agile for the DevOps world. We have data science. We have cyber, and then we have some general IT. And the general IT will be things that will increase as we move forward. These are things like telecommunications and general IT, computer science courses that may be needed. We don't have a lot in there quite yet, but we were really concentrating on these first 4 to get started. But I think general IT is going to be kind of the next big thing because there are some needs in that area. All right, Karen, why don't you talk about the learning levels?
Well, we decided that the names of the modules were important for everyone to understand. So we came up with some levels. So we do have quite a few exploration, which is just that awareness, okay? We do have introduction, you know, more the overview, the new topic. And then we have fundamentals or foundations, you know, more specialized. Then we do have the next level, which could be like an intermediate, okay? And then advanced. So that's much more complex, okay? Advanced usually requires some prerequisite knowledge in the area, okay? So we broke them out for you to get an idea. So level A, which is that exploration, could be anything from K-12 and up, okay? The next 2 levels, the introduction and fundamentals, is geared more for 2-year college students, whereas the intermediate and advanced, they could still use the introduction, but they might be more looking for the intermediate and the intermediate levels. And then graduate level is the really advanced. So we do have some that are really advanced for somebody after they've graduated. So hopefully that will help you as you look at module names, how we've tried to categorize them. Okay, so this is showing both sides of it. So like I said, the exploration is your more awareness, anywhere from K-12 and up. Your overview, quite a few of them say introduction, which is really an overview when we're presenting a new topic, okay? And that could be, like I said, either a 2 or 4-year college or university. The fundamentals or foundations, which is the essential part, the more specialized part, that could be a 2 or 4-year college or university. And then the intermediate, it is possible you could use it at a 2-year college, but probably more so at a 4-year college or university. And then the advanced, which is much further along. We're looking at, you know, junior, senior year of a 4-year college or university or graduate student, okay? So hopefully that will give you an idea. So next we're going to talk about what we've done, how we've laid out our modules, some of the national standards that we've aligned to, and how to start using these modules today. And we turn it over to Rafa.
So as Janice was saying, we currently have 4 broad areas in which modules are ready to use on the online platform of D2L. So the first area, it focuses on preparing students for future careers in software development and IT operations by developing their AGILE and DevOps skills. There are 8 easy-to-use modules already available on D2L in this area. So these modules are easy to use and simple to get started with. Instructors can also adapt their content to their courses easily. Instructional materials such as articles, videos, practice exercises, assessments, evaluation rubrics are already built into the modules and can be used or not used if desired by the instructors. Real-world agile scenarios are also part of the modules and can be used as learning tools in this area as well. So the second area we have ready to use modules in helps prepare students for future careers in cybersecurity. There are currently more than 30 easy to use modules already online in D2L in this area, but there are many more to come. Again, these modules are, you know, simple to get started with and can be adapted to a course as desired, and include all the instructional materials such as assessments on answer keys, real world cyber scenarios already built into the module itself. And the third area helps prepare students for future careers in data science. There are currently more than 27 easy-to-use modules in D2L already available, and there's several more coming soon. And the fourth and last area that we have ready-to-use modules in is in general for future IT careers. So there's 8 easy-to-use modules already online in D2L in this area, including all the materials needed and with examples using real-world carriers scenarios. To reiterate, the number of modules currently ready in each of these 4 areas are 8 modules in Agile or DevOps, 8 in career readiness as well. We have more than 27 in data science and more than 30 in cybersecurity, but in both these areas, we have more to come.
Thank you. Now we're going to talk just a little bit about the design and development part. So once, as Janice went through, once it was discovered what sort of skills we needed and content to cover, we created a learning module title and a description, and then a backward design. So if you're not familiar with that, that's coming up with the learning outcomes and then figuring out what activities and assessments will cover that. And we've been working since the IT Center of Excellence is housed at Metro State. We've been working in the Metro State D2L. So that's how we started. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about the learning module itself. So each module, which you could think of as a course, a mini course, is approximately 1 credit of learning, 15 to 16 hours of content. Each one has been aligned with some sort of industry competency and sometimes more than one. We've done the backward design process with instructional design support. We gave each faculty a template so that there was consistency on how modules were created and kind of how they looked and felt. And then faculty users can then combine and adapt whatever modules they want for their own unique experience or expertise, teaching style, and any knowledge and practice they have. So sometimes if it's not a course you want, maybe you have a few students that are lacking in a certain fundamental area, you could give it as a supplemental. So you could use it as a course as is. Many of the content experts didn't add discussions in. They felt that if a faculty member wanted to use it, they'd want to add their own. So we've left things like assigning points for assignments and assessments and discussions to individual faculty. But the bulk of everything is there, and it's all zipped as a D2L file, and you can just import it into any D2L shell you have, like I said, and combine however many you want, or have standalone, or just send students out there as supplemental resource, any way you want. So this is the backward design template we used. This is an example of one. So you see we started out with the title, Access Control Foundations. We have usually a 1 to 3 sentence description. And then we have, for a 1 credit module, 3 to 5 learning objectives, okay? Making sure we have a verb that we can assess, okay? So we don't use understand. We use lots of other verbs, okay? And then in the first column, we have shortened the module learning objective, and that's the name of the web page in D2L, so that you can align it with a learning objective. So those are just shortened names, and it works very well. And then you can see the author on here, and you can see that it's been mapped. The cyber module has been mapped to many different areas. So that's kind of how we started. So that takes a lot of work up front. Once we have that, then faculty can actually develop the content. So this is what this one looks like quickly in D12, is that there's the 3 learning objectives, methods and classes, policy and procedure, and technologies. And then this one has a final exam and a final assignment. And then we usually offer summary and additional resources. And then the last one would be instructor resources, where we put answers to quizzes and assignments and prereq information, so that faculty know if the content expert that developed it felt that somebody had to have prior knowledge or prior skills. So that's kind of the basics. So all of ours would look very similar, okay?
All right, I'm gonna have you share your screen, Karen, so you can walk through an actual example of one. While Karen's pulling that up, are there any questions at all from where we've started here? As you go forward, does it look like something you'd be able to use? I don't see anybody raising their hand. Go ahead, Karen, and we'll come back to thoughts in process.
Well, hopefully you can see.
Yep.
Not letting me log in at the moment. I was in it, so anyway, once we've worked on it in Metro State and had it reviewed and looked at and everything, then we go to it's not letting me do anything. Well, we'll try that again.
Gotta love technology.
Yeah. Okay, can you see it now?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Well, screen share goes on and off, so.
There it is.
Okay.
You're up.
Okay, so I'm back. I'm at the Minnesota State site. So if you've never been here, it's much like your own campuses, you know, where you'd be Metro at, you know, .learn.minstate.edu. Only here it's MinSite, MNSITE. Okay, so we have lots of links to take you there. So I'm going to log back in. So all you do is log in with your star ID. Okay, so simply your star ID, the password you use, same password you use in D12, same password you use for your Outlook, you know, the one password. Okay, and it brings you to Minnesota State's D12 version. Okay, so not a lot of people have used this in the past, and we asked, and this is a collaborative that anybody, any student, any faculty, anybody with a star ID and can go to the site. Okay, now instead of all my courses are already pinned, so I have them, but for any person that hasn't been out here, you just go to self-registration and you will see a list of all of our all of our modules are under self-registration. You just simply click what you want. Okay, web security, using codes, you know, whatever you want. So it's helpful. Janice is going to show you how to go to a site where you get a description of all these. So it's very helpful to know what you're looking for, because like I said, we've got like 80 out there already, and we're not even halfway through. So there's a lot of them out there. A few that you see have been out there for years. Transfer specialists, the body keeps the score. So this is used by anyone by the state of Minnesota. Okay, so there's things out here besides our modules, but our modules are the majority right now. So you pick one and all you do is self-register and you're in. You're in as a student, and that's how it goes. Okay, I'm going to just take you to, so you can see I've pinned a bunch of the career readiness ones to start with at the top here. And I have lots and lots of them because I've got them all pinned. Let's look at data science one. Okay, so here's a data science one, and we talk about the 8 areas. We have 8 categories or areas in data science. We also have 8 in cyber. So it gives you an idea of what major category they're in, and then they're standardized from there down. Okay, so faculty can use these modules, incorporate them as is, or once you download it, you can make changes to make it better fit your students or your class or your curriculum. We've exported them as a zip file, so you can import them in any D2L course shell. And we've now started also supporting the Common Course cartridge. So in case you happen to be using something that isn't D12, not many people are, but there's a few that use other things, that would work too. Okay, so that's just a message we put out there for everybody. And then you would go to content, and you would see the module. Okay. The module's right here. The last thing I was in was instructor resources, so that popped up. Okay, so you see the description, you see the learning objectives, and then you see the first learning objective, and you'll see a quiz. You'll see the next learning objective, and there may be an assignment, there may be a quiz. You know, different faculty did different ways. Okay, some have put extensive supplemental additional resources. Some have put just lots of different, every faculty did a little differently. Okay, some use final exams, some use case studies, some use projects, different ways. But the nice thing is anybody can download this, take what they want, delete what they want, change what they want, add a grade book if they want, add discussions if they want, do whatever you want. Okay, so when you go down after all the way to the end, you get your summary and additional resources. And I don't remember if this one has any, but a lot of them do. Okay, this one did. So there's several different links here on things that the content author, the faculty member felt that might be helpful for students to have. Okay, now the next one would be the instructor resources, things not for the students, just for the instructor. So you could either hide this module once you download it, so students don't see it and you still want it out there. That's what I do for instructor modules. Okay, so we've got faculty notes, we've got how to import, we've got instructions, and right now we have it as the D12 format, the zipped, but we will be adding it, the Common Course cartridge also. Okay, so faculty notes, and like I said, this is where faculty put anything, the content faculty put anything they felt would be helpful for the faculty member teaching it or using it. So here they've got the answers to the quizzes and the final exam. Okay, so sometimes there's PowerPoints, just whatever faculty member feels would be helpful. Okay, so that's pretty much how they look in generalities. Some have a lot of, this one didn't have a lot of formulas and extra things. Some of them, especially some of the programming ones, are very, very much have a lot of formulas and tables. And so we've had to go through and check accessibility. So we've done all that for you up front. Once you download it, it is available to you and you can do whatever you wish with it. Every faculty that was involved in this realized that it was going to be offered up using one of the Creative Commons licenses so that faculty can do whatever you wish with it and use it however it's helpful to you. Okay, so these are intended not to have a textbook. Okay, they've got some links, they've got some tutorials, they've got some other resources, but you don't have to have a link. And like I said, you can combine some of these like SQL or some of these have 2 or 3 modules, and sometimes we try to number them for you so you know what would be a logical order for them. So like I said, you can pick and choose however, whatever makes sense to you. Any questions on that before we continue?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So we're going to go back real quick here. Thank you, Karen. It's great to see it in person. Now, I don't know anybody who's on the call that isn't a Minnesota State faculty or staff member. We also have a way for you to be able to download them through the Common Course cartridge deal. So once we have those all up, we do have them for some in our metro system, but we are frantically getting them into the Minnesota State as well. But these will allow you to pull those into Blackboard or Canvas or any of those other learning platforms that you have. So, but for all of us at Minnesota State, we all use the D2L system. So it's a nice zip file that you can download. And again, what Karen said is, you know, as you go through this, you do not have to use all parts of it. So if there is one piece to the module that you say, you know what, I'd really like to just see that part, that's something you can do. Before I show you how you can kind of figure out what those are, I would love to have Portia kind of talk about how we align these to standards, because we know that's important for accrediting bodies, especially if you're in the cyber and the data world. It's really important to align curriculum to some of the national standards that are out there. So I wanted to give Portia just a quick chance if she could explain or go through an example of the cybersecurity one that we did. But we have these up here. The Agile DevOps is, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Project Management, Scrum, and the Agile Manifesto. The Career Readiness is the Ed Design Lab, and the NACE framework have both been done. The Data Science, Edison Data Science framework out of the UK is pretty much the one that everybody goes towards. So we've done that. And cybersecurity, we actually have 3 different mappings so far. CSEC 2017, NICE, and NSA. These, I say so far because the next part is to really look at certifications or other national training organizations to see how we align with them. So maybe you want to set up a certification program in one of the cybersecurity areas, which courses would go towards that. So that will be something we do. But let's look at how we did a cybersecurity, and I'm going to hand this over to Portia, and I'll run through it.
Hi, I'm Portia again, and so when we look at the cybersecurity modules, we had 2 goals. One, we wanted to build the modules, and that's goal number 2. But the primary goal that that we're trying to address is the a pathway from K through 18. So what we found is that employers are saying that students aren't graduating with the skills that they want, and so we felt like building interest and awareness younger would give us a chance to build more skills in over a longer period of time. So as Janice mentioned, we used 3 separate frameworks to create, to decide which modules that we would focus on. These are the CSEC 2017. That's the one that was created for the ACM, the Association for Computing Machines, it's something like that. And that one is the standard for the ABET certification for your school. So these are already aligned ahead of time. And so those are our organizing principles. Those 8 are the ones that we use to ground all of our other work. Then we have the National Security Agency Center of Excellence. This is a designation offered by the National Security Agency, the NSA, and they have requirements that that colleges must document and universities must document to say that in order to attain this designation. The most important pieces that we made sure we aligned with are the foundational, the technical core, and the non-technical core. These are the ones that we felt were most critical because those are required by 2-year, 4-year, and research institutions. The last is the NICE framework. We mapped not only to these are the categories, we mapped also to the specialty areas. Most important to employers, we mapped to job descriptions.
And I can talk a little bit about this. One of the things that we did see across the state and what the industry is saying is just that we needed to identify some priorities. We can't just do everything for everybody all of a sudden. So when we're looking at this, what Portia and Faisal and the rest of them said, these are the hot topics that are currently out there. And so I threw this slide in, and sorry to take over Portia, but that was just identifying the priorities because there's so much information out there.
Right, there's 1,800 knowledge, skills, and ability in the NICE framework, and there are 77 areas that the NSA potentially could cover. So it's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't need any more gray hair, so we're not going to go through all of them. All right, so thank you, Portia. So what happens when you look at these, and you can't really see it from just looking at the D2L site. So we did need to figure out a way of how do we organize all of this data that we have for you, so that you could see it in one way instead of just going in and start clicking through modules and downloading. So we came up with a process so that things kind of look of, you know, here's the module name, the learning outcomes, and then where it's attached to. And I'm going to just pass right through that. But we came up with the IT COE curriculum dashboard, and I'm going to show you a couple examples here of that and 2 places where you can find it. So currently on our website, which is the Minnesota State IT COE.org, if you go in under educators, Minnesota IT and curriculum modules, it comes up with this page. This describes everything kind of we talked about. It's free deals, the modules, the 1 credit of work, the 4 areas. And as you go down below, you will see all of the modules, 232 as of late, that are listed in our area. So of course, you're not going to go through this whole list to say, holy cow, there's a lot. So we've created a search here. So you can go search, and this will pull up just the cyber modules that are there. And let's just look at access control foundations. If you click on here, this will show you now all of that backwards design template information. So it's the module description, the learning outcomes. Here are all of the mappings, the CSEC, the NSA, the NICE, the curriculum thing, what the level is. So this is a 2-year, who the faculty developer is. You hover over them. You can see a picture of them. You can email them if you have any questions, and you can see where they work at. And then down below are the actual learning outcomes. Now in here, we don't have a lot of information more than just that. This module, I don't believe, is completely done yet. So that is why it is sitting like this, but it does give you at least an idea of what's in here. We'll take another one, the same type of thing. So in here, then you can really start looking at what it is that you're trying to do. We also have a keyword search. So let's just say you would just want to look at Raven or network or whatever the word is that you can come up with at, you know, let's just go PyTorch. Whatever it is that you feel that you need to do, it will search exactly for what you're looking for and give you that module to review. Okay, again, it gives you the person's name, it gives you the module, the learning objectives, and then down here we have the learning objectives. Soon, this will probably be within the next year. We will also attach what assessments go to each of these learning outcomes, what activities and resources. So it will be kind of a mini view, a dashboard of each of the modules that have been created. So it's really a nice way of just a quick, easy way of looking at all of the modules. So again, that's underneath our curriculum module on our site, and yet you can get to that from there. If you really want some hardcore information, you can go to the actual Trumba site where this is all created. This is our dashboard site where you can see, again, all of the modules. But what you can do here is you can actually say, you know, you want to search only for things that are part of a NICE job role. And so let's say if that's something of interest to you and you want to see which modules relate directly to the cyber defense information, well, great, there's none there. Let's look at this one here. You can go to the actual framework categories. You can look at what all modules are created under protect and defend. You can see the NICE work roles, and you can see the modules that are there. So if you are going for an accreditation, or if you are looking at, you know, some of the NICE or the NSA, or even the areas for CSEC, and you say, you know what, we really want to have a degree program in human security, you can see what we've already created, and you can use these. These are free to use for you to help create your 2-year, 4-year advanced degree program. And again, with each of these, you just go into there and it gives you exactly what you need. Once you've found the module that you're looking for, this is where you would go then into, and again, you can go right from here. Once you find the module, oh, deep learning in PyTorch, that's what I want to look at. Then you would go into the D2L site and download that one into your deal, because this is what you know you're going to get right now. Okay, this is all going to be available. I'll have links to everything when we talk about that. But right now, what we have, and I will be sending this out, it's kind of an overview of everything we talked about today. The name of the modules, what it looks like. Here's the list. So it'll be a hard copy list that you can, again, go and search on our website to see more details about what the learning outcomes are. These are all available to be downloaded into from the MnState site right now. And we'll be there, and there's all the links so that if you have questions for us at all as well. So this will be part of the package that you will receive. You'll receive the PowerPoint, a copy or a link to this webinar, and the information that we have given you here. All right, so there again, the future use of badging, develop of credentials, so certification, so maybe taking 3 or 6 credits for a student credential. So maybe you want to do a credential in data visualization. Your college can take 3 or 4 of our modules, create them into a certificate. This is something we're working on to really do some alignment from high school all the way through the advanced. So all of that will be done badging as well. So a lot of colleges are looking at badging. So badging for credentials, badging for the individual modules. And that's what we have for you. So I'm going to open it up, and I hope anybody has questions for us and tell us what it looks like. What would you like to see? This is the more information, and we will make sure that we send this out to everybody. So thanks for attending the open house. What kind of questions do we have? Anybody? All right, well, we're just going to leave the mic open. We have another one of these that, oh, we've got a chat here. Remember, we add modules every week. That's right, Karen. Yeah, every week we're adding modules. Masumi and Omar are busy at it, so we always are adding modules. So it's really nice if you just go to the Minnesota State IT COE.org. Thank you, Christy, for getting all of that work up there to do the review. It's a live database, so as soon as we get them done, it's live and ready to go. So you don't have to wait around for it. If it shows up as developed, it'll be in the system. So all right, I'm going to leave it open. We're going to be around here. I'm going to go grab some coffee. We'll start another session here in about 15 minutes. So thank you again for attending. I look forward to having you join us and using these as we move forward. So thanks very much.